Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Friday, the 14th of July. But first, a quick recap. Well, a very disappointing day. I will leave it at that. There was a small return on the single each way on one of the horses. After that, disappointing. So let's move on to Friday. You may have noticed I did a video earlier on. It's purely if you're interested, obviously. From now on, I'll be doing a bit of a members enclosure, and all it'll be. You don't get me wrong, you can still get the tips as normal on the regular channel. But what I will be doing is, in the members area, I'll be providing a video purely for members, which covers, and in the description will be detailed analysis of every single race on a Saturday in the UK. I pretty much go through every race anyway. Normally I stick to the extra place races. But for those of you that like to pick your own horses and maybe just want a bit of, I don't know, validation behind your selections, or somebody else to agree with you, or even point in a different direction, it may be worth just taking a look. For $4.99, all you'll get access up until you decide to cancel. I do believe it's $4.99 a month to be a member. So you're going to see quite a few. I believe it's 4 weeks. So you will see 4 Saturdays, or pretty much 4 Saturdays. And then you can decide when you want to unsubscribe or cancel your membership. That's fine. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you may find it quite interesting. I will provide selections what I think will do well in the race. I will also provide selections or short priced favourites that I think are vulnerable, which could come in quite handy if you like to pick your own horses against a favourite again, or even lay favourites. So I'll leave it with you. Be interesting to see if you pop across to the members, and there will be a video right about no later than 10 o'clock Friday published for members only, and then shortly before that will be the Charlie Winters regular tips for Saturday. So let's get straight into Friday selections. Basically, it's a cracking day's racing, and I could easily stake a Saturday stake on Friday, but I'm going to keep it dry, keep the powder relatively dry, because I'd like to have a bit of a blast on a Saturday, so I don't really want to do it 2 days on the trot. So basically, all I've done is I've picked 4 selections, and if you could do me a favour, I don't know what's happening, maybe it's a bit of a bad run up, but I'm getting bombarded with dislikes, and well, it's the same amount every time. It's not many. When I say bombarded, sorry, I don't get that many likes. So as a percentage, you're talking about, I think it's the low 90s or the late 80s. So I think out of them, it's about 3 or 4 per video. Bearing in mind, for the last, I don't know how many weeks, the vast majority of videos, win, lose or draw, have had 100% likes, even when I've been on a bad run. So something's not quite right at the moment. So enough waffling, 3 minutes in, let's get cracking. So it's a 10 pence each way lucky 15 and a 50 pence each way accumulator. The first selection is Monty Linus at 9 to 1 in the 4.25 at York, paying 5 places instead of 3. This horse is bred to want soft ground. Simon Crisford, and I can't remember his son's name, they're doing pretty well regarding the winners wise. They've got a lot of decent horses, especially for this stable as well. I always fancy him to have a decent chance in these. I'm not calling this a big race, but it's a big track. It's a Grade 1 track. So I do think it's got a good chance on form. And if you're unsure, there's loads of rain everywhere, and I'm on about constant, decent, heavy rain. So the ground will change, and that's also why I've gone for Chester tomorrow evening as well. I think it's going to be atrocious at Chester tomorrow. So that's Monty Linus at 9 to 1 in the 4.25 at York, paying 5 places instead of 3. The second selection is Lullaby Bay at 18 to 1 in the 4.55 at York, paying 6 places instead of 4. Kevin Ryan's start to the season was absolutely abysmal. However, this horse is crying out for soft ground at least, or even slower. That's part of the reason why they took it to Deauville. Although it's been totally out of form, but gradually it's improving with each run. Well, Kevin Ryan seems to be really hitting a purple streak right now. This horse, I would have preferred it if it was a bit more prominent. But generally for Kevin Ryan, it's been coming from behind or towards the back end of its career with Carl Burke. But early on during the career with Carl Burke, it actually travelled quite strongly up towards the pace. Well, I would like it to probably be right in behind the pace and pounce, push on with 2 furlongs to go. It's drawn 14, and I was tempted to I think it's going to be middle, it's not quite middle, but it's just about middle. There's 22 runners. This is drawn 14, so it's got 8 on its outside, and so I think it's relatively okay drawn. So that's that selection. So I'm going to Chester now for the other two, and this is the horse that has been that can run well at Chester, and it had an atrocious draw the last time. I believe it won. It was drawn 14. Well, I'm sure you know, being drawn 14 at Chester is dreadful. So it's virtually impossible to win from there. You're in the car park. In fact, you're not in the car park. You're actually the other side of the trees. So the horse is Devil Waller at 14 to 1 in the 5:45 at Chester, paying 4 places instead of 3. It's drawn more towards the inside this time. To be fair, it won't be that beneficial to draw them because, don't get me wrong, it's better than being drawn 14, but it's a horse that comes from behind. It's not exactly ideal at Chester, but it's proven those tactics can work in the past by winning with them before. So I do like the jockey. It's Phil Dennis, so I think it's got a cracking chance. And finally, the biggest price of the lot is, and by the way, at Chester tomorrow night, I don't think you can ignore Timmy Easterby. And I do believe is either dad or uncle's got one, Mick Easterby as well. So the Easterbys, I'm not saying back them all, but definitely keep them on the right side, or keep on the right side of them, because you know anything can happen, and in heavy ground, the results can be all over the place. So the selection is Mr. Curiosity at 25 to 1 in the 7:30 at Chester, paying 4 places instead of 3. So those are the selections. If you're interested in joining the Members Club, just below this video, there's a button that says join. Tap the button. It's $4.99. And the selections will be, the analysis will be out Friday evening, late Friday evening, ready for Saturday. And once the racing's passed, that video will still be available for members to view. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.